All right, welcome back to Breaking Controversies, and today is our seventh episode. uh, so, as we said last episode, today we'll be talking about mental health and everything related to that. And as usual, I'm your host, Jihan, my co-host
And
here.
is Q as usual.
And it's me, Roderick.
Yes, and today we have two guests. You guys wanna, what do you call it? Introduce yourself.
Sure, I'll go ahead. Hi, my name is Chris. Currently, I'm on the second year at the University of Technology of Sydney. Yeah, I'm one of the guests today. Hi.
Ooh, Sydney. All right.
Nifty. And our other guest.
Hi everyone, my name is Chanel. Right now I'm in my second year at Santa Monica College.
Santa Monica, U.S.
Yes, US, Los Angeles.
Okay. How how's you guys university?
We're also transitioning to online, but everything is good.
That's nice.
Yeah, it's still the same way over here. Everybody's transitioning to online, and everybody's trying to get their stuff
But
done
did you
because
but
it's
did
online
you guys
environment.
have a great time?
What?
What did you say?
But did you guys have a great time? Time?
Yeah, yeah. It was a great. It was great. Until they set everything online and you cannot get out. So basically, it's almost the same as you're in Indo anyway because you cannot go out or access anything. I guess
Yeah.
that's how I feel these days.
Yeah, well, that's the problem if you have a national-wide, worldwide pandemic, I guess.
That is
Yeah.
true. I just read the news actually. It's online. It says Jakarta expected to at least the infected number of infected is expected to rise to 9,000 or something.
I believe it's not that high, but
Expect
yeah, I guess one of the biggest impact of this become a world mental problem. So I think this is a very good topic on today, like today's topic, because like thanks to this COVID thing, I believe a lot of people are actually having problems with their like they have mental issues. They have problems at home,
Mhm.
stuck at home, work and
Mhm.
eat
Isolation.
and do everything at home.
Yeah.
All right. So World Mental Health Day.
When is that actually? I'm not even sure if there is a world.
So the UN says that World Mental Health Day is on October 10th. And I actually didn't know this until like I Googled it last night.
How prepared are you?
This
So
is
yeah,
this
it was
yeah, what?
celebrated in 1992 at first, and then uh, at the initiative of World Federation for Mental Health. So yeah, it has been more than 150 countries today, but I believe Indonesia is not one of them.
Uh
Why's that?
Like Indonesia is not one of the country that celebrate World Mental Health Day yet, even though like it's only popular for like 150 countries, but they only do it for in the last 20 years, 25,
I feel like
7 years.
that has something to do with the culture itself.
Mm.
What do you guys think?
I think in general most Indonesian doesn't get really stressed that much because literally they has less work to do.
I think they still do. It's just they
I
don't
think,
talk about it.
yeah, I
Yeah, I
think
guess in Indonesia it's more like a taboo to talk about mental health, especially if you're saying that you need to see a therapist. People will think that you're crazy.
Yeah,
Whereas like in the US, it's seeing a therapist is like a very common thing just to talk about your mental health.
that's
Mhm.
true.
That is true. Maybe that's why they were like, we don't need a world mental. We have farms and stuff.
I
I
actually thought
believe
this.
it's yeah,
Yeah, what?
I think it's part of the school as well and how people associated with the how we grew up. Like for example, like in some school in Indo, like it's common not to have a counselor at school. They change it
Yeah.
for example with guru
Mhm.
BK for example to substitute counselors at school, but I don't think that's enough for the students to substitute the counselor with Guru Beka. I don't think that's enough. You know what I'm saying?
Uh, what is Guru Beka actually? I didn't go to local
Bimbingan
school.
counseling.
Hmm? Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah, but
Yes.
Guru
Well,
Beka usually they didn't really have any specific degree on psychology. That's what I knew
Mm.
from several school that I asked my friends. So yeah, I don't think we should make this more awareness. You know, for especially in Indo, that it is important to talk about mental health.
Yeah, that is true. Like even in our uni, we don't have counselor or anything like that. How about
well,
you?
we have
You
Yuli
guys have
Care.
Uli Care is not a counseling.
Really
It's
care
not a
is
counseling
like
service.
it's just like a box where you get stuff. What we're thinking is like you can go to this person to talk about your problems,
Yeah,
not
but
get bandages or something.
yeah, not they're not they're not s- they're not certified. They're not psychologists or psychiatrists. They can give you advices, but that's it pretty much. How about you guys, Chris and like how's the school counseling stuff in your uni?
Channel can go
Oh,
first, I guess.
Yeah, I mean anyone?
all right. We have counselors at our school that because like I think in the U.S. Especially like mental health is very important. People talk about it all the time, and people are very aware of it because how mental health can also affect your performance at school. And so we even have like a what's it called, like a special treatment for people who suffer from just mental health. Like if you have like sort of like ADHD, like you can request for extra time for your exam in
Mm.
sort of a way. Yeah, that's
That's
it.
really nice.
Mm-hmm.
In my uni, they also have like what they call it counseling service and self help. It's part of um, UTS, like UTS counseling for the students that, for example, if their family have family disasters, their parents passed away, and there is some circumstances where the students cannot go home or something like that. We are like UTS will like to give facilities for students to actually to make themselves feel comfortable, to make themselves have a therapy session, to make sure that even through difficult times there are some people that still support them in the
Right.
terms of psychology. Yeah.
Mm.
And here you see the difference between an international university and ULIS.
That
Well,
is true.
Yuli is international too.
So sad. Yeah, but we don't have a specific or specified therapist, or at least something like our guest just said,
Yeah,
to
we're
cope with
lacking
stuff
on
like this.
yeah we're lacking on resources.
Yeah, that's true. We're
Yeah,
looking
it's
on a
true.
lot
Which
of
is
stuff actually.
the nice part is in my uni, if you have a mental problem and for example it's near the exam day and one of your closest family member pass away, for example your parents, for example, the uni will actually suspend you off for that exam and change it for like another.
Oh, that's cool.
It's so
Huh.
nice.
That is actually nice, but you have to have a proper written letter that your family
Oh,
actually passed away, like
Right, right.
of course, but like still, that's still nice. I mean, for us, it's like, oh, something happened. It's alright. You can still come to exam, right? Because
No, no, for us, if somebody's like parents or family died, they'll post it in like the group chat and then, oh, sorry for condolences. That's it. And
yeah,
then you still have to take exam. You.
Uh,
yeah,
and the
Oh,
wor-
exactly.
oh my god.
and
Wait,
the worst
no,
part
don't
is
do that.
some teacher doesn't let us to get 1 day free from campus,
Mm,
right?
yeah,
Hmm.
to cope with this, it's
There
like,
are there are some strict teachers on our campus.
But there are some nice ones also. Like when I was not in the best state of mind, some of my teachers actually like allowed me to take a test with like a day I was supposed to take it and stuff like that. So some teachers are cool.
Mm, that's really
But
nice.
since Chris and Chanel, like you guys have the like, official counseling services, right? Are
Mhm.
they like free? Is it part of your tuition or do you have to pay extra?
No,
yes,
you
it
don't
is
have to pay
free for
extra.
me. You don't have to pay.
Hmm.
It is part of the uni, and if you really need help, like you're dealing with depression, you're dealing with anxiety, you can always go to counseling and make an appointment. Book
Yep.
online,
Right.
and they will
Same here.
So it's part of it already, right?
Mhm.
Yeah,
Is
it is
that
part of the uni.
My
is
heart,
that enough?
it hurts.
Like, is that enough though to help with your uh stress, daily stresses, I guess, or mental disability for some students?
Honestly, if my perspective, I don't think it's a fully yes, but it's better to have facilities rather than nothing. Like
That is
Mhm.
true.
because um in in Australia it has happened, and I believe Indonesians usually, for example, let's just say suicide. Like Indo really take their time to consider and think lots of times before they actually killing themselves. But in Western world, they don't usually think that much, and they just like, okay, let's do it.
Yeah,
Jump
yeah.
off the roof because um, I think you knows and Chanel also know a friend of ours, their friend, her friend are actually did actually jump from the dorm room a
Oh,
few months ago. Yeah,
Mm.
so he actually killed himself. So it was a tragedy, and the whole dorm was, that whole floor got shut down and everything. I believe.
yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's really
Even though the university already provide with like psychologies and already provide with like counseling, sometimes it doesn't help, but
mm,
sometimes it also save people. So I believe the first step to make a world a better place, especially for mental health issues, I believe it's counseling. That's the first, I guess.
Mhm.
right. There should be more.
Um, some people even doesn't want to talk to other for their problems, even with their mental teacher,
Mhm.
Mhm.
and
Yeah, I guess.
they just directly go suicide.
Yeah,
Mm.
I guess it depends again on the openness of a person whether they want to use their resource or not. So we also have that counseling service at campus, but it's up to you whether you want to go there or not. You want to talk about your problem or not, because people have choice and we can't force people to talk about their problems if they don't want to.
That is true. Yeah.
Mhm.
I was gonna say something, but I forgot. Q, do you have anything to add? You're so quiet today.
No, I'm good. I'm good. I mean, like, it's only been the first 10 minutes,
12.
so like, I'm good. I mean, I'm saving it for the next topic, I guess.
We
All right,
we
all right.
still we still have a long time.
Yeah, and plus, yeah, go ahead. I'm just sad because our uni is just,
Can you
yeah.
guys like
I know.
request to have like a counselor, like a certificate counselor,
we can we can make a request, but it's
right?
unlikely that they would actually do it because we lack
Okay.
space,
Well,
like
Resources.
I
literally.
think they're short on hands and money too.
Mm, I
Yeah,
see.
Mm.
yeah.
Uh, I can tell you one more thing that probably in my uni they don't also have UTS counseling. They also have another forum for you to express your feeling. It's called UTS confession. So
Oh,
it's
okay.
It's a what?
yeah,
So it's
UTS
a room?
confession.
It's a room?
Yes,
Confession,
it's
You?
yeah.
confession room.
It's not.
Yeah.
It's it is more like there is a confession room, so they have they have the physical form and they have the online one. So in UTS confession, as you actually go online and go to a website called UTS confession, you can confess anything that you like. Just write it plain out loud, and um, just send it to the forum. And if there's somebody reads it. So it's like a mini social media, mini Twitter. Like you can actually post something about your feelings inside.
Dude,
So
what?
And then you get a response.
if people, so sometimes people are actually asking for response. Like for example, like I'm feeling desperate right now. For example, need a friend. Can you guys, uh, I like, can you? I give out my phone number. Please, if anyone really like wish to contact me, please contact me. So there are some people who did that, and I believe it's actually helpful, even though it's not a counseling form, but they actually
Mhm.
make a forum out of it. Don't you
Nice.
Wait,
guys think it's like part
so
of
you're
solution?
saying that's their physical contact, right? Like we can talk each other on front of our eyes, right? So
Uh,
is
there
there
is
any
two
location
forms.
on my local area?
I mean, it is part of two forums. So there's the physical one, and there is a um, online forum. So usually when they have the physical forum, as they come to the UTS usually celebrate an event of confession room event where everyone just go there just to confess their feelings. Usually there are some counselors also over there, but the online forum, I think that is the one of the solution that you guys can have. You know, because you guys don't necessarily, if you guys don't have the human resource to have a counselor, by having an online forum, actually that helps certain students. And I
That's
read
cool.
some of the comments of the students like, hey, you know, I have problems with this. For example, my assignment, I don't know what to do. Anybody like did this assignment last year or last semester? Can anyone help me? And usually a lot of seniors does help, you know, even though it's not directly to mental health, but if they have problems, they have something to confess. It's usually nice to go to confession room.
So it's not like only mental for mental forums. It's only also for working project.
Yeah. So, for example, like your teacher asks you to do, for example, a survey. The fastest way, usually my uni did it, is just post that in UTS confession room because uh, they can say that, hey guys, having problem about this, can anyone help me? So usually people will just help students
Mm.
involved to do the surveys. So yeah, it actually helps for students that actually having problems at uni, how they progress in uni to have a confession room. I believe if your uni can do this, it will help your uni much more, even though you guys don't have any counselors. If you know.
We kind of
Mm,
have something like that, like the Yuli care thing, but
yeah.
it's let's say it's a prototype and not a lot of people are actually using it.
Mm,
Mm.
Because not a lot, I don't think a lot of people trust each other in our uni. That's why
yeah.
Wait,
it's
but so since you guys don't have any counselors, like what's your suggestion to people who are struggling with their mental health?
hmm.
Get them sit down.
Oh, we're being interviewed now.
Well, this is supposed to be a Q&A,
It is. It is.
right?
For me personally, I guess the first advice would be reach out to somebody, at least one person,
Mm,
Mm,
no matter, because like you gotta have at least someone. It's
yeah.
it's impossible not to have anyone. Maybe it is for like some people, but
right.
humans are like social creature, even the loner of the loner have, let's say that, have at least one person as a friend,
Hmm.
Mm,
and
If
that's, I
if
think, having at least one person that for there for you is already like
good
tremendous
enough.
enough for you to
Hmm.
open up.
Yeah, because you start with one person, then you go to the next,
Yeah.
you get open,
mm,
and the problem is getting a step closer to solving it.
right.
True. What about you,
Hmm.
Roderick? What do you think?
Um, Maybe because I think to find that one specific person that we could rely on is really hard, you know.
Hmm.
No,
Because
it's true.
I think it's we still doesn't know whether what he or she thinks about me when I'm gonna talk more about my personal problems.
Right.
That is true.
Mm.
But
I
what
guess
I believe
that's
it's
go ahead.
Go ahead.
uh okay, I'll go. What do you like to Roderick? Yeah. What do you think Yuli can do to improve this whole situation? Aside from Yuli care, I guess.
Mm, I don't know.
All right. What did you guys want to say?
I think it's part of the culture as well. I think the first step that you guys have to do is like increase the awareness of people, especially in uni, that it's not a curse or it's not bad to confess your feelings, because like a lot of people think that when they confess their feelings towards others, when they pour out like their heart to someone else, they think that it's sign of weakness, even though it's actually not sign of weakness. It shows that you are human, it shows that you need
I
someone, it
think it's
shows that.
not the only problems. The other problems is either we confess our feeling to the right person or it doesn't, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Sometimes we're confessing our feelings to the person that actually doesn't want to hear
Mm.
about us.
Mm-hmm. That is true.
mm,
I guess that's
I
one thing
understand
to
where you're
mention.
coming. Yeah, I understand where you're coming from because I actually had almost the same experience back in the day where someone that I care for that I thought is my friend suddenly it turns out to be they the person that involved thought that, oh, I think this guy actually likes me, and I was like, no, I'm doing this because I'm your friend. So it became a wrong side thingy just because of
Yes, that's pretty
you know.
harsh.
Well, that makes us disappointed, right?
Mm, true.
Yeah.
Uh,
So yeah,
what?
I think online confession is one of the nice thing that you guys can do. Even though you guys can make a closed forum or open forum for it. Like, some people actually make closed forums if they are scared.
That's true.
I guess,
Yeah.
yeah, it's pretty nice to make like, for example, higher ups of for example, like some teachers are in the higher ups closed forum, so if they have feelings towards somebody, they have feelings that they want to say, they put it on closed forum rather than open forum where everyone can see.
Mm,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well, yeah.
that's good.
We can just take from JSA whatever they're doing. So I guess we can do the forums probably.
Yeah, sounds like easy enough to do.
Mm-hmm. All right, we can
Alright,
work on that the next meeting or something then.
let's let's move on to the next topic or segment or whatever, right? So, since we're all uni students, what stresses you guys out the most? Let's start with Chanel.
What stresses me out?
Yeah. Doesn't have to
Um,
be related to your work, can be outside also.
just related to college, probably just assignments and midterms.
It's always assignments. Always.
True.
What other things that could stress me out? Yeah,
uh,
or probably not being able to find friends because like on my first semester it was a little bit hard for me. It was like sort of like I had to adjust to the environment and to the just to the people here. Um, yeah, because also we have lots of students. So we in my college we have 33,000 students, and
Oh,
so yeah, so like the chance of you getting to know each other is really low because like and most people like just come and go, like they just come to the class but like have no intention in like making friends. I guess that's sort of like what's the difference between people here and people in Indonesia, because like I feel like Indonesians are they tend to be more friendly and like tend to approach people, but I
mm,
guess it's a little bit different from people here. They're more like individualistic, and so it's a little bit hard to approach people. And like once you get to know that people and like, oh, next semester you're gonna be on a different class and you're not gonna meet them ever again, and so like then the cycle goes on, so like you will never be able to like make friends, and so that's like sort of like one of my
Yeah,
stresses back then.
yeah. I mean that's the point, right? In the uni, we doesn't meet the same persons on the every
Mm,
class, right? So,
right.
why are we going to be friends with the person that we even don't meet each other?
Mm,
Mhm.
true, true, true.
right.
What about you, Roderick? What stresses you out?
Well, a lot of things actually. From the starting from the simple ones, I think when you're being forced to wake up early in the morning to attend the class, it's also stressing, right?
It
Right.
is.
Sleep fully enough.
Oh my god, what stresses you out? Waking up.
Wake, being awake stresses me out.
I hate to set on alarm actually.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Chris, what about you?
I believe it is like what you guys have said is part of what I going to say as well, but I think I can add on the part of club activities. I think because in my uni, I thought club activities is going to be like more enjoyable or more fun to fill in your time. But in my uni, when I had a club activities, it's more look like a fundraising company because most of the time what my uni did for the club that we had is just fundraising. Like, we did, for example, karaoke night for fundraising. We sell food for fundraising. So it's like, what happened to these club activities? Why we don't have any hangout times or like, can we stop with the fundraising? So it
Yeah.
actually,
Why
not,
why
you're
so
not,
serious? Yeah.
Yeah. Why so
yeah,
serious?
I was like, what are you fundraising for? Are you going to buy an airplane or anything? Like, what are you guys trying to do? Like, I mean, it's okay to do fundraising once in a while, but like, if most of the time that you meet up, if it's not a meeting, you do fundraising. I was like, what's the fun in the club? You know,
Mm.
True.
Especially the club that I joined in is PPI. It's Indonesian Australian club, so it's for Indonesian like
What
OSIS, but
what activities do you do in that club then?
Yeah.
Yeah.
uh, so basically at the end of the year, one of the biggest thing that we do is epilogue. It's like a musical drama. So
Oh,
what we
okay.
did, yeah. So for example, like last year, we did a musical drama and we invite an artist from Indonesia, Yura. I believe you guys know it. We
I
so we did the musical drama. But I mean, for that to happen, we need to do fundraising almost every week. Like
Yeah, I think that's
doing.
that's where the money goes to, right? To invite
Mm.
Yeah,
artists.
but I was like, what's the fun in it? We did epilogue, we got tired, we don't entertain ourselves, and then like during the fundraising, we do all the hard work ourselves, and like what that's gonna do. I thought a club is actually to have fun, to chill with your friends, to find new people, but in the end of what I thought in my club is just like fundraising event, and there's no dynamic inside, there's no harmony happening inside the club. So
Mm.
it kind of stresses me out, especially when they said like, oh guys, let's do a meeting, and when we did the meeting, they said, oh, let's come to the meeting again next week. And I was like, we have discussed this for 3 hours. Can you guys make a decision already? Like, stop pending.
Wait,
We come next week again to discuss the same goddamn thing. Like, can we discuss something else? Like,
are most of the members Indonesian?
Yes.
I mean,
Yes, and
yeah,
I
Because
think that's what the club's about.
no, because
Indonesian students in Australia.
that's a very Indonesian
Yeah, it's a
thing
very
to do.
Indonesian thing,
it
not making a
is. It is.
decision.
It is. It is. And they said like, oh yeah, we're gonna continue the chat online. And finally, when I go home, there's nobody chatting. Like I was like, dude, you say you're gonna continue this online? Like, why there's nobody chatting? Like the cycle continues. And I was like, am I in the club or I'm in the fundraising society? I don't know. Like, it's so weird because uh the and like most of my friends that joined PPIA club before, they actually kind of regret this kind of thing. They said like, I'm not. Yeah, it wastes too much of my time and I didn't really enjoy the club anyway.
Uh,
So like some of because I thought I'm Indonesian and it's really nice to have Indonesian friends. That's why I joined the PPI as part of my club. Like if I knew like there is, for example, they have a gamer club. Like, hey, if there is a gamer club, I prefer to go to the gamer side. If in the end I knew it will be like this, you know what I mean?
True, true.
oh yeah.
Yeah, like when I come to gamer club last week, they had more fun than I do. They play Nintendo Switch, they play PlayStation, they have Xbox, they have board games. I was like, dude, I'm missing this.
So why don't you just switch clubs or join that one?
Yeah, why don't
Uh,
you
the
just join them?
the thing is, right now I'm part of the committee of PPIA 2019, so I need to finish until 2020 because it's like 1 year cycle. So I need to finish everything first, then I can transfer club because they also have a 1 year paid membership and stuff like that.
All right, right,
So
right.
it was annoying.
Change that club then. How about you, Ian? What
mm,
stresses you out?
whom? Me?
Ooh.
Yeah, you. Who
Oh
else?
well. Assignments?
Aside from, I think we're all clear that assignments.
Yeah, we all clear the assignments part.
Okay.
So aside from
Out
assignments.
aside from assignments, fact that the world is
I thought you said Q, I
Language.
thought you said there's.
I'm just kidding.
I thought you said no swearing, Q.
Yeah.
You
I
said the
put
rule.
I put that one in just once. It's like the first time I swear 5 episodes. I'm allowed to. But like really though, the whole thinking of the world about corona, about death, and about the whole situation of the earth, yeah, does it not make you mellow about it?
A bit.
I can agree with that. Like a lot of people have anxiety issues, and a lot of people have trouble coping with their mentality, especially how the world goes right now.
Mm-hmm. And corona's
It's not
not
stepping.
making it better.
It's not stepping in the right direction, and like as I said, some politicians just try to pull their strings off, try to think to make people that themselves look good. And I was like, what happened to the world? You know, I'm not saying only Indonesian. Even in here in Australia, they do the same thing. Like, you know, for example, 2 weeks ago, they said to us like, hey, please stop going out because it's COVID-19. Okay, so now we have one week of shutdown. So the uni literally got shut down for 1 week. There are no online class, no class at all for 1 week.
I've heard that on the Australia, the government says they're gonna lock down their countries for 6 months, right?
That's the thing.
Some
That's the
of them.
thing. They said they're going to shut down for 1 week that time. And you know what? Instead of staying home, people are actually going to the beach, and there's like thousands of them at the beach, and the government like, oh my god, literally there are a lot of people at the beach, like thousands of them, and the government's like, nope, we go to stage 1 lockdown. So suddenly, right now, outside my house, there's no sign of car. The parking spots are all empty outside, and I was like, finally they listen, you know.
Well,
I
at least
mean,
it's not as stubborn as Italy.
Mm.
Well, Italy's already really bad, so
Yeah, but it's
Oh,
bad.
excuse me, the USA is on the top tier right now.
oh yeah, right.
Yeah.
But-
I forgot about the US.
I mean that still the same goes as Indonesian, you know, like how some people in Indonesia think like, oh, coronavirus, we won't die, we are immortal. Yeah, wait that until 2
Nice.
months, and now all of you got scared. Like none of you want to go out. Like
Chris,
So-
you meant immortal.
yeah,
You said immoral before.
both of them. That goes in the same boat, immoral and immortal. I mean, some people think they're immoral and immortal, man. They just think like, oh yeah, I think I have like 9 lives. Let's go out. You know, like
Maybe it's because most of our people live in slummish area and they already exposed with many kinds of disease every day.
but what I mean is you don't have to chill about it. It still can kill you and you can die from it. Like what the part of it that you should be chill about? Like you don't
I
need
guess
to chill about.
most people think that they're still young, so like a lot of people think that even if they get it, it will just be like a mild flu and it won't really, kill them. So a lot of people here as well, they don't give a I'm so sorry, but I can't find any words for that. But literally, like people are still partying and all that, but like the government, they don't plan to close to lock down. Sorry, but now they're closing the hiking trails and the beach because people still do go out. So right now, hopefully people don't, but I don't see that happening because the case keeps getting worse and worse each day.
Well, Indonesian people believe in one thing. If they get sick, they can just drink some herbs. We call it jamu and get some rest.
You
Do
go.
you guys know that Spider-Man meme?
I mean-
where they're like pointing towards each other.
Oh right, I saw that.
Yeah.
Imagine that, but with Corona and spring flu.
Yeah, that's what
I
people
mean-
think of in here. Like, oh, because like we have in the US, we also have seasonal flu, and technically seasonal flu kill more people than coronavirus, and that's why people underestimate it, I guess.
True.
I mean, I think the most problem that we have right now, especially in COVID-19, is ignorance. You know, people try not to care. People try not to, you know, to know that this is a real issue that we need to address, and until it's too late. And the government at first think like, oh yeah, we don't need to worry about it. And look at now, like even like our president just like, oh yeah, we need to shut down schools after several months, after like 2-3 months this thing has happened, you know.
Shit, bad.
There's no quick reaction, no fast realization towards this kind of problems, you know.
So
But
it's too late.
but the thing that blows my mind is that US still doesn't really care about coronavirus, right?
Yep.
Even on this stage, at this stage, US people doesn't really care about coronavirus.
It's until it gets really serious, like some important person gets hit by it,
But
or
a
people
lot of
dies.
a lot of artists have actually got the coronavirus. But like I
Yeah,
think what Trump's concern is about the economy, because like if we do lockdown, then like all the restaurants and everything will die basically.
yeah. The
And
point,
so yeah, go ahead.
Trump
Wait.
is not wrong. The
I
economy
know, totally.
failing because of, and if the economy fails, the whole world's gonna fall, especially because
Of course,
Wait, we're
it's in the
getting off
United
topic a
States.
bit here.
that is
I
true.
know.
This episode is about mental health. Just saying for the viewers, Bacoters, not about coronavirus.
Hey,
I mean,
you asked me what makes me stress, and all of this make
Coronavirus making you stressed.
Yeah.
yes.
Because most of the people react to it. It has a different reaction from them, and some of them makes us stress.
Mm-hmm.
I
Right.
mean, the most important thing that we need to deal with this kind of thing at this pandemic is actually not to be panicked, because like the mental health of these people today are, first of all, they're panicking. Like
True.
you see a lot of people panic buying, and that is not great. Even in business perspective, business panic buying is not great. Like people are afraid to go out. They don't want even to travel. The travel people who are planning to go abroad in the next 6 months or 1 year, all their flights got canceled, and it's bad. You know, people are also anxious at home. People think like, oh my god, am I gonna die? Hey, how about my grandma? And do I live with my grandma? Oh my god, my grandma have a histories of lung disease. Oh god, she can die. Like this kind of things that makes people are really really anxious. The first step is like probably what we said, especially as uni students, what we can do to deal with this kind of problem is probably open a confession room. Um, Try to be as comforting as possible, not to panic ourselves. If we became panic as well, then we are no different than those who are panicking already. Like we are all educated, we go to university. At least I think we can take a wiser approach since we are educated enough, rather than the grandparents that didn't really probably finish their school, some of the family members that didn't really go to school. I think we can be wiser. What do you guys think?
Yes, I
But
think it's
I
true.
think what makes them widespread of panicking is because a group of people panicking, and suddenly all of the person doing the same thing because they doesn't want to get rid of the supplies, right?
Get left out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Two people start panicking, and the whole world's like,
I mean, especially this, since we're talking about mental health, I think we have to make sure, especially parents or grandparents, not to panic, because like you don't know how baby boomers dealt with WhatsApp, and some of them take it like raw, very raw. Like for example, the grandma of mine, hey, oh my God, we're gonna die. It's airborne. I mean, first of all, coronavirus, just to be sure, it's not airborne, and people are panicking just because of that. And a lot of baby boomers take it very, very raw. They don't process it, they don't chew it, they just eat it raw, and that's a problem. I think we can make sure, especially to receive WhatsApp news, to
Yes,
tell our
WhatsApp news.
parents,
Oh my god.
because
Facebook news, just to
Uh,
make sure that to educate people more, like, hey, please do more research, especially when they, for example, in Indonesia, liputanxx.com. And I was like, dude, what kind of liputan is this?
what?
Dude,
Wait.
Wait. It sounds
does
like restricted videos, right?
no, no,
but wait,
no, no, I said XXX because I don't want to mention any brand.
Oh, I
Like,
thought it's a restricted site.
no. I said X liputan something. Okay, like you
Okay,
don't know
okay,
what
okay.
liputan is that. And for example, another thing that beritabenar.com, and I was like, who the hell read from beritabenar.com? Like, please read from much better resource rather than liputanbenar.com. Like, who the heck does that? Like, you know what I mean? Like, especially we have to educate and we have to stay way more calm than our like previous generation 30, 40 years prior before us, because
I love how triggered Chris is.
I know exactly.
because
But
all I
like,
can see these days is crazy, man. People are panicking everywhere. Grandmas are just freaking out. And I was like, dude, you're making me more stressed, okay? Apart from uni assignments, now you have to call me like 24/7 just to make sure that I'm all right.
Because I think most of them believe that all of media are telling the truth, and
Yeah.
Mm.
uh, they by reading the headline news, they think they have known all of them.
Yeah, that's
Right.
dangerous. What do you
Alright.
guys think about the mental health about this kind of situation? Do you think it affects our family members as well?
I think so, yeah, of course. It's
Definitely.
just but I can see it in both good and bad way. Bad way is like there's a lot of hoax, that your parents sees, and they might not realize it's a hoax. But good
Yeah,
in a way that people are making more online content, they're like the tagging stuff on Instagram, right? Like you tag your friend
yeah.
and yeah, those activities kind of brings you closer, I guess, to people even you don't talk to often.
Mm-hmm.
And I find like that's
Mm.
pretty cute.
yeah, it has some good benefits, but like, wait, I have a question. Does ignorance count as a mental illness?
I guess it is.
Because if you're wondering what's the biggest mental problem people have, it has to be ignorance.
I
Yeah.
have to agree on you with that.
I don't know if it's a mental illness, but I feel like it's just personality trait, I
Yeah,
guess.
True. But
Because
anyway,
like they can choose to not be ignorant, right? But some people with mental illness, they can't choose not to be, like that.
Right.
mm.
But I don't know,
Oh,
I
Google it.
mean,
What does it
yeah,
say?
I don't know. Uh, all right,
sorry.
Uh,
Um,
calm down, calm down,
what is happening?
calm down, guys.
Right, let's go something lighter, okay? Let's move away from Corona a bit.
Yeah.
So you guys already told me like what stresses you out. Now, how do you de-stress from your stresses? Chanel, you can go first, I guess.
All right. Um. Well, from assignments and midterms, how do I distress is by treating myself, meaning buying ice cream for myself and eat it, or go outside to hike or just to bike around. Um, in terms of like finding friends, I mean, I think it's a little bit opposite to Chris, but for me, since I found a small group, like a club for my school, I think like that's how I connect more to people, and I guess just by talking to them, playing games with them, that's how I normally de-stress.
All right,
Hmm.
pretty. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Chris, how do you de-stress?
uh, I think once in a while take a break. The like for me, I really like holiday. I really like it doesn't have I don't have to travel abroad, but at least see new faces, new environment, new things once in a while, or do something weird, like weird hobbies. Like for example, I really use what's that?
Go ahead.
No. For example, like I have a weird hobby. For example, not. I like to open up. I like to buy toys and I open them up just
Mm.
for fun. Like, and I was like, oh yeah, how about if I modify, for example, a Nerf gun? I know some people might stress out of it, but for me, it's a fun thing. Open it up, just try to pull some screws off.
So
I think it
more
helps.
experiment and break out of
Yeah.
your routine.
I
Yeah.
think you're more
Yeah.
suited to be a mechanic.
But he's
What do you
not.
study?
No,
But he's not.
I hate.
No, he's
I
not.
hate-
That's the point.
What do you guys
I hate
study
it.
in uni?
What do you say, G?
Well, what do you guys study, Chanel and Chris?
Ah.
I'm studying business management.
Okay, that's far.
Exactly.
Yeah, that is that is far.
How
How
about
about
you,
you,
Chanel?
I'm studying material science and engineering.
Ooh,
Yeah.
that's cool.
Yeah. I mean, she's lucky. She doesn't have to study under Patanaya.
Oh God, no, let's
is-
not talk.
What's
Okay,
that?
that stresses
But
me
we
out.
still don't know
I have a
whether
class.
they have worse Patanaya on that uni.
What's
How about you?
Patanaya?
Patanaya is our lecturer, and trust me.
Oh God, Patanaya.
Oh.
Sounds like a food
I
to
can-
me.
I can imagine Patanaya being a snack with like triple C. Snack.
I know.
Snack.
Oh,
I
and
think
it's
no
similar to
compare.
pad thai. That's why.
Hey, what do you guys eat? Patanaya. I can imagine you guys said that. What do you guys eat? Patanaya.
Oh my God, he better not.
Oh, I'm putting that in the description later. That's it.
Yeah.
Snack. There you go.
Snack.
Okay, so
Patanaya.
it's enough bashing our teacher.
Yes, yes. Roderick, what do you do to de-stress?
Okay, so it is the hard thing to do for me. Basically, I still figure it out how am I gonna distress myself actually.
Mm.
But
Hmm.
at some point, I agree with our guests, Channel and Chris, going outside and find some new environment.
Mm.
But that thing took a lot of times and a lot of money, you know.
That's true.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Well, you
I
don't
mean-
need you don't need to pay to like just walk around or bike unless you don't have a bike. Then yeah.
Well, basically, what I am doing to distress myself is actually
Mm.
rather than just walking around on my neighborhood, I
Mhm.
spend my money on transportation to go to Jakarta.
Why Jakarta?
Yeah, it's far. Like I
Because
said,
Right.
Jakarta.
Aren't
Because
you guys in
it's
Jakarta?
money.
No, we're
no,
not.
we're near Jakarta. But it's like what 30-40 minutes from Jakarta.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's around 40 kilometers to Jakarta.
But why do you go to Jakarta, Roderick?
I don't know because it's a big city. You know, there's many things you can do. And
He's not
also,
wrong.
and also my friends is most of them is on Jakarta because my high school what they call it, students are basically live in Jakarta.
Mm.
I am the one only live in Tangerang.
Mm.
Makes sense, yeah. Actually, me too. Oh, no, not me too. I study in Amsterdam. How about you, Q? What do you do to distress?
Probably just listen to music and game.
Play games.
Let's
I think
go.
like-
Of course you know it.
Oh my god.
And music, obviously.
Is that it?
Yeah. For now. I mean, I do a lot of stuff. I read. I go call my friends if I don't know they respond.
Mm.
If they
But
respond. That sounds pretty
yeah.
sad.
Yeah, I'm looking at them right now. Hello.
How about you?
What?
Wait, is your real name Jihan?
Yes,
real
that is
name.
my real name.
I'm the only one with a nickname.
That's true. Okay, what about you, Jihan?
how do I de-stress? I guess just sleep. Yeah,
Sleep. All right. Yeah, it really helps.
that's like
It
the
does.
cheapest thing to do, you know.
That's true.
Just
Taking a
need
nap.
time.
Mhm.
Yeah. Sleep. Maybe I don't know. Call my friends also like you. Bother them, you know, about my problem, whether they want to hear it or not.
Yeah, I think the fact is
Like,
how
I'm
to
not, I
distress.
don't care.
Yeah, I think the fact of distressing itself, the how to make it much more efficient is you actually doing something and actually being doing more like something productive, semi-productive outside your normal activities. What you do as productive,
Yeah,
you know what I
and
mean?
Yeah.
Like for example, like if your brain thinks that playing games is productive, then do it. It
Yeah.
helps.
Yes. I'm
No, Chris. You mean doing something productive or taking a break? Because taking a nap is taking a break, but it
Yeah.
also helps to distress.
I mean, sleep is productive for your, you know, sleep.
Mhm.
Yeah, yeah, it is.
Exactly. It's productive for your brain to rest.
Yeah.
Right. All right.
I mean,
You
there's nothing
headache,
wrong with
you know?
sleeping.
Mhm.
There's nothing wrong with sleep, you know. It is much better, especially in uni where we sleep much more less than back what we did back in high school. Like our sleeping time right now is like 2 a.m., 3 a.m., 4 a.m.
Yes,
Let's
that's
be
true.
honest.
That is
That
true.
is
Let's
true.
be honest, right? We don't have a like we're not like elementary school anymore. Oh guys, now it's 9 o'clock, time to sleep. Nobody actually does that.
Mhm.
Well,
There's no
Right.
debate.
well, actually, for me, I can do that. Sleep at 2 a.m., 3 a.m. But most of the times, like, screw it. I'm just gonna sleep anyway. Forget about
Right.
anything.
Uh-huh.
You deal with the consequences later, yeah.
Yeah.
When you wake up.
Oh my god.
I guess that depends on how long you've
Let
been.
tomorrow problems become tomorrow, right?
Save the problem for tomorrow. What if
you'll
tomorrow has
cross
more
that bridge when you
problems?
get there. Okay, so actually that's all the points I have for today. I mean, for this episode. The reason why I asked you guys what stresses you out and what you do to de-stress is because other people, when listening to this, might probably would have the same thing, and maybe, especially with the how to de-stress stuff, you know, they might pick up some stuff from you guys. That's why I asked, because they might not know about those.
Mm.
So,
So yeah. Some classes like in Indo, I believe there are some facilities where you guys can do, for example, meditation. Like some of them does it,
Mm.
and I believe Q has heard one of the mentors back in the day just keep saying meditation day and night. Chanel has heard it as well.
Yes.
If you guys
I
went to
has.
YLP, there's
Oh,
always a
vegan.
guy who, yep,
Always.
he always said meditation is important. I mean, not for me. I cannot do meditation as someone who actually dealing with, who has a problem, concentration problem like me. I cannot do meditation. Like meditation is like out of the question. I cannot do meditation.
Yeah,
But
yes.
for somebody else, it might work. You know.
true. Oh my god. Anything else you guys want to add? Like, not just from the guests, but like Q and Roderick also.
Nah.
No.
No, Chanel.
It's all some fun stuff.
I'm good.
All right, so I think it should be enough for today. A bit off topic before, you know, with the corona stuff, but that's all right. It is current event, you know, so it's still important.
It is stressful.
Yeah.
Does affect the stressness.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exactly.
But we did talk about the consequences of coronavirus, like for example,
Yes.
how it deals with
Yeah.
our parents' mental issues about people are getting stressed out and anxious going out. So I think it's pretty relatable to us today's topic. You know?
Very related, yeah. Anyway, shall we wrap it up then?
Yes, shall.
All right. So, oh my God, what's episode for next week? I forgot.
Yeah,
Okay,
come
never
on.
mind. I got it. Okay. Right. So that's it for today for episode 7 on mental health. I'd like to thank the guests, you know, for joining us today. Very helpful. Very Because
Hopefully that's not a sarcasm.
no,
Very helpful for it.
it's for real because the fact that you two go to the like different universities, gives us a wider view on what other places is like in terms of mental health facilities and such.
Right.
So yeah, thank you guys for joining us today. Next week episode it's just gonna be a review basically of our uni. So you guys guess no need to really hear about that. But yeah, as usual, I'm your host Jihan,
And I'm your co-host Q.
Hey, Roderick.
with our two lovely guests.
Should we say our names?
I'm
Pick
Chris.
one.
Yep, I'm Chris.
and
Still
now,
present.
and yeah, thank you for listening to us today, and we'll see you next week.
Next time.
Next episode. All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.
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 Bye.